Oh, Astroworld nostalgia. Let's continue that ride. The Viper. Now, if the Serpent was just a kiddie ride, the Viper was on steroids. It was a roid rage. The Viper was a fast roller coaster. It was approaching upwards of 50 miles per hour. Had a loop in it. It wasn't a crazy long coaster. I'll put that about, oh, I don't know. You know, the track was like 1,000 something feet long, and about a minute-ish, you know, a minute ride, give or take. Now, it came in a park in Astroworld around 1989-ish, but the ride itself was built in 81. It was called Jet Scream or Star Scream, Jet Scream. It was called Jet Scream. And it was in Six Flags over St. Louis. That's where that was. And then back in 89, it was brought to Astroworld. Yeah. But it was all green. Kind of a, you know, again, it's called Viper. It had a snaky dragon-like theme to it. You click, you know, here's this the video of the ride in the, you know, the POV of this ride in the you know, going right now. But yeah, you know, you went up a slope, and as you crested that slope, went down, you went through a tunnel, and at the end of that tunnel, the first thing to meet you was a loop, big old loop. And the ride was rather compact. I mean, it was some tight turns, and one of those turns near the end was like almost like Excalibur. The turn was a tight turn, and you're going fast enough, and the turn was tight enough to put you almost sideways to the grass. You can almost reach out and almost you think you can touch the grass almost. But yeah, it was a fun ride. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of fun. It was smooth ride, all metal. Steel coaster, just like Excalibur, just faster, a little more modern, a lot more modern. At the time, I didn't know the ride was built in 81. I kind of thought that was a straight out brand new ride, but no, it was built in 81, installed in the park in 89. I'm trying to remember. A lot of times they'll take a ride out and insert a ride in. Now I'm trying to remember what was in its place before it was built, and my brain just kind of completely draws a blank on that, because I don't. Yeah, I can't picture what was there before Viper was put there. Yeah, but yeah, it was a fun ride. That was another ride. Yeah, you go on a Wednesday. And a lot of time, it wasn't a lot of people in the park. It really wasn't. The park's moneymakers days was weekends. Probably that Friday, yeah, probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was the moneymaker. Wednesday was definitely not a moneymaker. You know, but yeah, parents did use the park as a babysitter. You know, go and, you know, kids that are, you know, back in those days, kids that are, you know, 12 years old. You know, 12, 13, 14, you know, in a teens. Yeah, just parents go drop off the park and go all day at the park. You know, parents have to work. So, but yeah, it was man, that was a fun a fun ride. That was one of those rides that you go through it and you go back to the terminal where you load, and if nobody was in line, or very few people were in line, you just tell the both times, just tell the guy at the button station, hey, keep it going, and he'll let you stay, let you sit, and we'll do that ride. Man, yeah, you know, 3-4 times, you know, sometimes back to back. But yeah, the Viper. That coaster stayed in place up until the October '05 when the park was closed and was torn down. I do believe the ride was dismantled, and it's either in a warehouse or like a surplus yard, or it was installed at another park. I gotta research that, and whatever I find, I'll insert in the video. But yeah, see, you know, a lot of those things, kind of, that's how it happened. You know, yeah. Park was some rides were given to other parks, and some rides was put into a surplus yard, probably owned by Six Flags, I'm assuming, or was bought out by other parks, and either were installed or surplus. So, but yeah, I put the thing in the comments. I can't remember. I don't know exactly what happened to the ride. I just know when the park was torn down, that ride went with it. So, but yeah, the Viper. That was a good ride. It really was. Hutch Beats, Latchkey.